Hello everyone, welcome to the Farghini channel. I'm your host Farshad Tehrani, and I want to try a new format this week. I love the news, I love cars. I want to start delivering car news to you guys every single week. So this is going to be car news from the last 2 weeks. Let's go straight into it. So the biggest automotive news was the new Tesla CyberTruck. Now here's the thing, I just uploaded a video fully going through it. You guys, let me show you guys how the car was introduced. I missed all that. It's 35 minutes long, so we're not gonna go deep into this, but I'll put up a link up here or up here, I'm not sure where. You guys can check that out. We got the new Ford Mustang Mach-E. So this is Ford's answer to Tesla's Model Y, I would say. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a competitor to the Model Y or the Model E or the Model S? So basically, after 55 years of using the Mustang name for performance and convertibles and coupes and two-doors exclusively, Ford is using the Mustang name to go head-to-head with Tesla in the electric car market. Now here's the thing, I think that's the only shot Ford has to go up against Tesla is to use a name that's globally recognized. So the Mustang Mach-E is an all-electric SUV. Yes, they took the Mustang name and turned it into a four-door SUV. You'll have two battery options, a standard one and an extended. So with the extended, you'll have about a 300-mile range, but the one you really want is the Mustang Mach-E GT. So that has the extended battery, all-wheel drive. It can do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. It's got 459 horsepower and 612 pound-feet of torque. Now, the basic one is going to be the Select, which is going to be 43,895, and the GT, the highest spec, is going to be 60,500. What do you guys think? I think these are great, and this is without the incentives. So I think if you're getting a car from 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds, you don't have to use any gas, and it's about $50,000 to $60,000. I think that's a great proposition. But what do you guys think? How do you think this stacks up to the Model Y? My only opinion is that it looks pretty good, and I don't like driving refrigerators. That's the only problem I have with the Model Y. So BMW was in the news as well with their electric vehicles. By the way, my opinion, I think BMW is like way behind that of everyone else. They're still trying to marry batteries to engines and this and that. But they have a new vehicle coming out called the 2021 BMW i4, which essentially is going to be the 4 Series Grand Coupe, but in the electric version. So it's got a new battery pack. It's 80 kilowatts of capacity, which I still don't know what, I have no idea what the 80 watt kilowatt, I don't know any of that stuff means. It's going to have a range of 373 miles or about 600 kilometers. That's pretty good. That's some big boy mileage. That's about the same mileage as the Teslas are doing. It's going to have an estimated 0 to 60 in approximately 4 seconds with 124 mile per hour top speed. Now you can charge the battery up to 80% in about 35 minutes. So it's about 62 miles of range for every 6 minutes of charge. What do you guys think? What do you think in the landscape of electric vehicles, how is BMW doing? And do you think all this that they're doing, the i4s and the i8s and all this kind of stuff, do you think it's enough to compete? And would you consider a BMW, an electric BMW over a Tesla? And speaking of electric, another German manufacturer released another electric vehicle, but this one is the Audi E-Tron Sportback. Basically, it's based on the Audi E-Tron, which is their answer to the Tesla Model X, which is an electric SUV. Now the Sportback, and everyone's doing this by the way, guys. Everyone's taking their SUVs, putting it a slant in the back and calling it a Sportback. So this is basically E-Tron with the back slanted a little bit. But the interesting thing is that slant gives it 22 extra miles of range over the regular E-Tron, because they say the back, the way it slopes, it's much more aerodynamic. So just in the shape, over the Boxster sibling, you get 22 miles. It's very interesting how aerodynamics plays such a huge role in your range. Can you imagine you have a range anxiety and you're in the Sportback, you're 20 miles away from a charging station and it gets you there just through aerodynamics. So basically that sloped rear roof gives you about 6.2 miles of range. Enough of this electric stuff. Let's get back into some gasoline, especially American muscle. So everyone's seen the new mid-engine 2020 C8 Corvette. Now here's an interesting fact that I read. Because of the strike that GM has, I believe in Canada and other places, the C8 won't be available for delivery February or March, around that time. But in the meanwhile, the C7 Corvette, there's approximately 5,000 units still sitting in dealers' lots. What do you guys think about that? Do you think anyone would be crazy enough to buy a C7 or a C8? How much of a discount would someone have to give you for you to buy a C7 as opposed to a C8? Now the thing is, they're estimating that this about 5,000 cars is about 3 to 4 months worth of supply. So that'd be great if they can wipe out all the supply and get it ready for the C8, but I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of those sitting on there. How would you guys get rid of us? If you're a dealership, what would you do to get rid of a C7? This is what I would do. If someone came in, they're like, hey, I'm looking for a Corvette, I wouldn't mention the C8 at all. I'd be like, hey, here's the newest Corvette and it's on really discounted. All right, we've got some Bugatti news. This is actually really interesting. So the thing is, Bugatti makes about 100 cars per year right now. And if you guys remember the first Veyron, they were losing some crazy amount of money, like $6 million per car or something like that. But apparently, switching to the Chiron, Winkleman, which is the CEO, Stefan Winkleman, said they're actually making decent money with this car. And I feel like Winkleman's getting a little bit bored and he's tired of these special editions. So apparently he's gone to the Volkswagen board and he's asked if they can make a 4-door electric, either Grand Tourer or an SUV. Price would be about $550,000 to $1.1 million. What do you guys think about that? I think that's a brilliant idea. And also, I think right now, just from what you can see with the SUVs, it doesn't matter how expensive the SUVs, how people want the big SUVs. If you can have a Bugatti SUV, there's gonna be people that buy the Bugatti SUV, and I think they're gonna sell a ton of these. And I think all the parts bin and everything they have, I think it'd be very, very easy. And with the electric motors, I don't think they have to put all that R&D into developing a 16-cylinder, 8-liter, 4-turbo, whatever, this and that. I'm actually excited about this, and it's going to look amazing. And I believe they built one. I can't put Caliber or something like that. They already have something that they worked on. I think it would easily go. What do you guys think about this one? Do you guys want to see a Bugatti SUV, or do you want to see a Grand Tourer, and how much you think it would be? Oh, Jaguar's in the news, my friends. It appears as though the big XJ, their big sedan, their S-Class-like sedan, has finally had its 9 lives. So after 9 generations of the XJ, they're down to the final 300 before they go out of production. Final 300 that they're gonna make are gonna be called the XJ Collection. They're all gonna be rear-wheel drive, long wheelbase, 5-liter supercharged engine, 475 horsepower, and the 300 XJs will distinguish themselves from the other ones by having a unique satin gray 20-inch wheels, and they will only be available in 3 colors. A British Racing Green, which if you don't go that, I mean, you gotta go British Racing Green. Yulong White, sounds like some tea. Santorini Black. I think if you're gonna go out with the last XJ, get it in British Racing Green, get some kind of tan interior, and put that thing in a garage. Hopefully it appreciates someday. This thing's gonna start at $85,000. What do you guys think about the XJ? It seems like the XJ never lived up to like an S-Class or 7 Series. It's not quite a rival for them, but they still make them, they still sell them. What do you guys think of the XJ? I really like him, but again, I think they lack a lot of the things that the S-Class and the 7 Series have, but I think you can lease them really, really cheap and they look really expensive, so it's a great value proposition. So Land Rover's in the news. After a very long hiatus, Land Rover's bringing back the Defender. A lot of people love the Defenders, and actually, they're so expensive now. The old Defenders are as expensive as brand new ones. For the 2020 model year, there's gonna be 2 Land Rover Defenders available. Defender 90, which is a 2-door, and there's gonna be the Defender 110, which is the 4-door. We're first gonna get the 4-door, and then later get the 90, and the prices for the 110 are gonna be $49,900, all the way up to $80,900, and I'm assuming that the 2-door is going to be slightly less from these numbers. What do you guys think of the Defender? Do you think this is the right time for a new Defender to come out? Do you think moms are going to buy Defenders so they can go over bumps at Whole Foods better? Or what do you guys think? I think it's 50 grand for a car like that. I think it's really cool. So hopefully I get my hands on one and we can review it. Oh, Lexus. The only reason I'm talking about Lexus here is because they brought some fire. So do you guys remember the LC500 Coupe? It is one of the most beautiful cars out there. They just released a convertible version of it, and this one they have with the blue and white, I think I have the pictures, is absolutely stunning. Now the only thing is they put a 4-layer fabric top instead of a retractable hardtop like everyone else is doing. I don't know. I just feel like with such an expensive car, such a great mark, such a great name, that they should have put that in there, because it kind of cheapens, you know, a fabric one cheapens. And I think everyone else, all the big boys, have a folding retractable one. I get it. It adds weight and complexity and all that kind of stuff. But regardless, this thing is gorgeous. It only takes 15 seconds to put the top down, and it takes 16 seconds to close. I'm not sure why there's a 1 second difference. And you could do that while going 31 miles per hour. I love it when it's like 31 miles per hour, where they like, at 30, they're like, all right, we can go 30. They're like, nah, let's see what happens at 31, 32, 33. And apparently the air conditioning system knows when the top is up and down, and adjusts for you. And it's got some kind of like neck warmer, which sounds really delicious in the wintertime. It's gonna have a 471 horsepower V8 with 398 pound-feet of torque. It's okay, but you're not gonna be beating any kind of sports cars. It's adequate. I wish it had a little bit more power, but at least it's naturally aspirated. And I also love that Lexus is still trying to put some performance into this car. So apparently they have some kind of pipe that comes into the engine so you can hear the engine sound. So good for you, Lexus. Everyone else is going to electric. You are still working on the sound of the engine. Mini Cooper had a reveal also. So the 2020 Mini John Cooper Works GP edition was released. This is the fastest model that they've ever made. It's a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo that makes 306 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque at 1,750 RPM. That's really low, that's a lot of torque, and that's a tiny car. So it's got a 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, which is not bad. I think anything in the 5-second range is absolutely fast. It has no speed limiters and can reach a top speed of 165 miles per hour. Actually, guys, this is 74 horsepower over a regular John Cooper Works. So that's a lot of power. That's a lot of engineering that went into like, make it more power. It's gonna have a starting price of $44,900, and there's only gonna be 3,000 made worldwide. What do you guys think about that? What do you think about Mini? Mini never makes it in the news for any kind of performance stuff. And also 45 grand for that? I don't know, where does it stack up? Do you think it'll be a collectible? Do you think it'll be worth more? Do you think it's worth the 44 grand so that no one else next to you pulls up to it? Let me know. All right, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed the news. I'm gonna try to do one of these every single week. As always, please subscribe to the channel. Please leave a comment, help the algorithms, hit the notification bell, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, forward me to someone else, have other people watch it, help me out with this. And thank you guys so much. And the final segment of the show is gonna be cars you don't wanna be during an accident. Enjoy.